Don't move, not because you're tired, because something just heard you. The forest has gone silent. No insects, no birds, no rustling leaves. Just your breathing. Slow, uneven, loud enough that you wonder if something else can hear it too. You don't turn around. Not yet. In the ancient world, turning toward danger too quickly could be the last mistake you ever made. Instead, you listen. Nothing. That should make you feel better. It doesn't. Because forests rarely become this quiet without a reason. Then, crack. A branch snaps somewhere behind you. Close. Too close. Every muscle in your body tightens. Your fingers close around the wooden spear until your knuckles ache. Will it stop a charging bear? Probably not. A cave lion? Almost certainly not. But it's all you have. The last strip of sunlight disappears beyond the horizon. Within minutes, the world changes. The trail you followed all day disappears. The trees become towering black walls. The rocks become strange shapes. Every shadow looks alive. You kneel beside your campfire. It's smaller than you remember. Only a handful of flames dance above glowing embers. You carefully place another dry stick onto the fire. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the wood catches. Orange light pushes back the darkness. You finally breathe again. Not because you're warm, because the fire is still alive. That tiny circle of light is the only place in the entire forest where you can see clearly. Everything beyond it belongs to the night. Today, darkness is an inconvenience. You press a switch, a room fills with light. But for almost all of human history, darkness changed the rules. It hid cliffs, it hid rivers, it hid predators. And it forced every person alive to answer one terrifying question. Can I survive until sunrise? You scan the trees again. Human eyes are excellent in daylight, but under a moonless sky, they struggle. Many predators don't. Depending on where and when you lived, the darkness could hide wolves, hyenas, leopards, bears, or cave lions. Most preferred easier prey. But hunger changes the rules. An old predator. An injured predator. A mother with hungry cubs. Any one of them might decide that tonight. Your camp is worth the risk. A cold wind sweeps through the forest. The flames bend sideways. Tiny sparks spiral into the darkness. Your heart skips a beat. Without thinking, you shield the fire with your body. Because you suddenly understand something. You're not protecting a fire. You're protecting tomorrow. And the night has only just begun. The wind dies. The flames steady themselves. For a few seconds, everything feels calm. Then you notice something. The pile of firewood beside you is much smaller than you remembered. You count it. 1, 2, 3. Only a few dry branches remain. Your chest tightens. The night has barely begun. You pick up the thickest branch, then stop. Too valuable. You reach for the smallest one instead. Not because it's enough, because you're already thinking about the hours before dawn. Long before people learned mathematics, they were solving impossible equations like this. How much wood can I burn now, without freezing later? You slide the branch into the glowing embers. Nothing happens. The wood is cold. You lean closer. A thin ribbon of smoke rises into the air. Come on. For one long second. Nothing. Then, a tiny orange flame appears. It spreads across the bark. You smile. Not because you've won. Because you've been given a little more time. Thousands of years later, archaeologists would uncover ancient hearths buried beneath layers of ash. Those circles of blackened earth reveal something remarkable. People didn't just know how to make fire. They protected it. They returned to it. They built their lives around it. A living fire meant warmth, cooked food, light, and precious extra hours to repair tools, prepare tomorrow's hunt, or simply stay together after sunset. You don't know any of that. You only know what your eyes can see. The fire is alive, and so are you. A faint sound drifts through the trees. Not a growl, not footsteps. Breathing. Slow. Heavy. You stop breathing yourself. Maybe if you're quiet enough. Whatever is out there will move on. The sound comes again. Closer. Your fingers tighten around the spear. The darkness beyond the firelight is complete. You can't see 10 steps ahead, but something out there doesn't need perfect vision. Many large predators rely on smell and hearing just as much as sight. And right now, the smell of smoke, the smell of cooked meat from earlier, and your own scent are drifting through the forest with the wind. Your heartbeat pounds inside your ears. The breathing stops. Silence. You wait. 5 seconds. 10. 20. Nothing. Did it leave? Or did it simply stop moving? Sometimes, that's even worse, because a moving predator tells you where it is. A silent one. Could be anywhere. A sudden blur explodes from the bushes. You stumble backward. Your spear flies forward. The small animal darts across the firelight and disappears into the darkness. A hare. Only a hare. You let out a shaky breath. Then another thought hits you. If the hare was running, what frightened it? You slowly turn toward the trees. The forest is silent again. The fire crackles. A single ember floats into the night sky. And for the first time, you realize something. The greatest danger isn't always the animal you can see. It's the one that never shows itself. You sit back beside the fire. The warmth barely reaches your hands now. The cold is winning. And somewhere beyond the circle of light, the night is still watching. The cold reaches you slowly. It doesn't attack. It takes. First, your fingertips. You press them toward the fire. Nothing. They're already numb. Then your toes. Then your cheeks. Every breath burns your lungs with icy air. You pull the animal hide tighter around your shoulders. It helps. A little, but not enough. Your stomach growls. Then it stops. That should make you feel better. It doesn't. When hunger lasts long enough, your body begins conserving energy. That's a dangerous sign. Without enough food, your body struggles to stay warm. Every shiver burns precious energy you can't replace until you eat again. You rub your hands together, stamp your feet, move closer to the flames. Still, the cold keeps winning. Your eyelids become heavy. You blink once, twice. The fire begins to blur. Your head slowly falls forward. Then, you wake with a violent jolt. Your heart pounds. How long were you asleep? 3 seconds? 30? You'll never know. But the fire is smaller. Much smaller. Only glowing embers remain. Panic surges through your body. You grab a stick and pull the burning wood together. Tiny sparks burst into the darkness. Nothing. Only smoke. Your breathing becomes faster. Come on. Come on. A tiny flame appears. It trembles. Then another. The fire breathes again. So do you. For a long moment, you simply stare at the flames. You weren't saving a fire. You were saving another chance to see morning around you. The rest of the camp barely moves. A child sleeps beside their mother. Someone quietly shifts another animal hide over an elderly member of the group. No one says a word. They don't have to. Survival has taught everyone the same lesson. No one lives through nights like this alone. Thousands of years later, archaeologists would discover skeletons with healed injuries that could never have healed without care from others. Broken legs, crushed arms, missing teeth. These people survived because someone shared food. Someone gathered firewood. Someone waited. Compassion wasn't separate from survival. It was one of humanity's greatest survival tools. A distant howl cuts through the darkness. Another answers. Far away. You don't know whether they're wolves or something else. It doesn't matter. The message is the same. The night is reminding you that it still belongs to nature. You look toward the horizon, still black. It feels impossible that the sun will ever return. But then, something changes. Not in the sky, in the forest. One bird sings, just a single note. You stop breathing. Then another bird answers. Somewhere far away, the darkness is beginning to lose, and for the first time all night, hope sounds louder than fear. The first ray of sunlight breaks over the horizon. Not all at once, slowly, the black sky turns deep blue, then gray. The trees begin to take shape again. The monsters hiding between them become ordinary branches. The strange eyes in the darkness become drops of morning dew catching the light. The forest hasn't changed. You have. You made it through the night. You take a long, slow breath. The cold is still there. Your stomach is still empty. Your muscles still ache, but you're alive. Around you, the camp begins to wake. Someone feeds the last glowing embers with fresh twigs. Another person checks the stone spear points before the day's journey. A child rubs sleepy eyes while watching the first sunlight reach the trees. No one celebrates. Because surviving one night doesn't mean the struggle is over. Before sunset, you must find water. You must search for food. You must gather enough dry wood for another fire. You must prepare, because another night is always coming. For ancient humans, survival wasn't one heroic moment. It was a rhythm. Wake, walk, search, share, protect the fire, survive the night, then begin again. Thousands of years later, archaeologists would uncover circles of blackened ash buried beneath the earth, broken stone tools, animal bones, fragments of forgotten camps. To most people, they're just ancient objects. But to someone who understands their story, they're proof that another family survived, another child grew up, another generation continued. History remembers emperors. History remembers wars. But humanity wasn't built by famous people. It was built by ordinary families who refused to give up, who kept the fire alive, who taught their children where to find water, who remembered which plants healed wounds and which could end a life. Knowledge became survival. Survival became inheritance. Inheritance became civilization. Now think about tonight. You'll probably step into a warm room. You'll press a switch, and darkness will disappear. You'll drink clean water without searching for it. You'll close a door that keeps danger outside. Then you'll lie down in a bed, without wondering what might be watching beyond the light. That feeling is one of the greatest achievements in human history. Because for almost all of our existence, darkness wasn't peaceful. It was a test. Every safe night you experience today was earned by countless ordinary people who survived nights like this. One campfire at a time, one decision at a time, one sunrise at a time. So tonight, before you turn off the light, pause for just a moment. Imagine one tiny fire, surrounded by endless darkness. Imagine protecting that flame until dawn, because that flame wasn't only keeping people warm, it was protecting hope, it was protecting families, it was protecting the future. And eventually, it protected you. The story of ancient humans isn't the story of strangers. It's the first chapter of your own. The past isn't gone. It isn't trapped inside museums or buried beneath the earth. Every instinct that tells you to protect your family, every feeling that makes you cautious in the dark, every spark of curiosity that drives you to explore, is part of a journey that began long before history was written. Somewhere on a cold night, around a small fire, someone survived. Because they did. You're here. The past isn't behind you. It lives inside you. This is Mish Theory.